Good morning, you badass motherfuckers. It's the results. Kill excuses. Morning drinking show. I'm your host, Greg. Getting back on this motherfucker once again. We getting back on here. We doing life. We doing days. We doing a whole lot of shit. Hopefully, you're doing you today. Hope you're happy. Hope you're content. Hope you realize that you control the state of your life, right? You get to control the state of your being. Terrible things could have happened yesterday, and you could still wake up today with a smile on your face, with optimism in your heart and your mind, saying, you know what, yesterday, terrible, challenging, difficult. Last week, last month, last year, challenging, difficult. But today, guess what? Today, I'm going to rise above all that. I'm going to go beyond, right? My emotional state of being, right? I'm going to go beyond how I feel. I'm going to go beyond the moods. And I'm going to become something greater than what I once was. Think about that. Think about that power that you possess. And it's all right here, man. It's all right here in your mind, your emotions, your spirit, and your body. When you pull all that together and you say, today's going to be a great day. Today is going to be a beautiful day, right? No excuses. Things are going to be challenging. Who doesn't have challenge in 23, man? Think about it. Who's not having challenges? You think just rich celebrities, they ain't got no challenging days, right? Why are we always getting excited when they have divorce and breakups and, you know, all the shit they go through? You think they're different, right? Because they got big stack of cash, they got big bag. what about uh athletes? They get any drama? How come we talk about athletes, right? You see athletes all the time fucking up, getting in trouble, doing bullshit, right? What about politicians? Politicians got all figured out. You don't think the president's got some major issues? God, man. That's what links us all. That's what's so crazy. I truly believe, right, that the truest state of who we are, right, when you truly activate the truth inside of you, right, that you are a life force, that you are spirit, eternal, right? That's what connects us all, man, is this eternal soul inside of every single one of us. That when you get to that place, there you transition into a state of being that, look, man, you don't hold anybody up higher, you don't hold anybody below. We all just walking, right, on this earth. We all equal. Ain't nobody above, ain't nobody below. Your title doesn't change you. Your role or your responsibility doesn't change you from just being a human being, right? Um, and that's very challenging, right? Because again, I think that the design of this earth is to have hierarchy and to submit to authority, right? To have to look up to people. And that's very challenging. That's very challenging. When we are programmed our whole entire life, right? And what I mean by that is I saw an incredible video with a Shaolin master. I love listening to him. He's full of wisdom. I love listening to the wise, right? Wise men, wise women, right? That have transcended the bullshit, man. All the noise, all the distractions. They're not worried about the games. They're not worried about politics. They're not worried about whatever social issues are going on, him, hers, they, thems, whatever, right? They're just worried that they just like to concern themselves and focus their concentration on how to expand humanity into what? A greater place. And that's what I'm doing too. That's why I keep getting back on this too. It's because I want to inspire others to become better versions of themselves. It's that simple. And it's not monumental shit. It's little by little, day by day, putting in work, right? Looking at your life, analyzing who you are, who you have become, right? And who you're capable of being, right? That's what it is. It's who have you become throughout the course of your life? You a miserable fuck? You a happy motherfucker? Right? Somewhere in between, right? And from any of those vantage points, how can you grow today? How can you get just a little bit better than who you were yesterday? I was sitting there journaling myself this morning, and I was sitting there thinking about how um, I had a very difficult, challenging, let's just call it an argument, right, in the workplace that I'm not proud of, but this shit happens. And it's not happening to me, it's happening for me because I know who I want to become, right? I want to become that grounded, solid man, right? A mountain of a man that when the shit hits the fan, I'm deathly calm. I'm deathly rooted, right, in myself. I'm centered on myself, that everyone else could be total emotional messes. And I could just be sitting there and be calm. They say fools argue, right? Wise people discuss. And I want to be more and more and more wise. And it's imperative that that truly is who I become, right? I'm not quite there yet. I can still get caught up with the ego and the pride. And, a lot of that is built in, a mindset of wanting to be right, knowing that maybe I'm right, maybe even knowing that if we actually got the emotions aside and we sat there and we just said, okay, what's your side of this? What are your facts? Here's my facts. And if it's verifiable, someone is going to be proved right. Someone's going to be proved wrong. Maybe it's a little bit of both. Right. But yet we debate, we bicker, we battle over bullshit. Big picture, right? And it's imperative to me, right? That in those moments that I'm reading this book and they call it Don't Give Your Goat Away, right? A lot of us think GOAT, greatest of all time, but don't give your goat away means, right? Don't give your power. Don't give your energy. Don't give your emotions away to someone else wanting to sit there and argue, even if you know that you're probably right. That's a powerful thing. I used to hear that a lot in past relationships. You just always want to be right. And there's truth to that. There's absolute truth to that. And what I'm realizing now is instead of being right, I'd rather be at peace. Right? You want to believe some bullshit, you want to believe that, but it takes a tremendous amount of awareness, right, to sit there and probably know that you're right, but not have to prove it, not have to sit there and argue, not have to sit there and let emotions run wild and, let shit pop off. You could just sit there and say, I'd rather be at peace. You know what? Let's discuss this later. Carry on. Even if you had to sound, all right, sounds good. You might be right. I've learned to say that with a lot of people. When they come at me with their point of view, I have to say, and it's something I disagree with. You might be right. Yes, you. All of the things you're telling yourself, you might be right. Why don't you try and prove yourself wrong, Bill? Why don't you actually try and investigate what is going on in your mind? Because that is your reality, right? You can look good, right? You can even act good, right? But truly, when things get hot, when things get uncomfortable, that's when the real, right, Slim Shadys show up, right? That's when the real version of who you are shows up. It's when it's hot. It's when things are not going so well, shit hits the fan. That's the person. And for me, I spend a lot of time journaling, visualizing, seeing me as that deathly calm man, right? that can just sit there, hold space, see emotions running wild, and either choose to depart, right? To calm down the situation, right? Usually departing is the best. I think one of the books that I've read over the past few years, it talks a lot about it's really important that instead of engaging, right, if you really want to show how much you value yourself, right, it's not to engage in those arguments, right? If you really want to show your worth and what you will tolerate, is to remove yourself. It's through action, not through words, but by your action, by saying, you know what, when someone's mistreating you, when someone is being rude or insulting towards you, the best way for you to show them the type of person you are, and it's really hard for us because we live in this culture of conflict and fucking cracking heads, right? UFC, mixed martial arts. We like to see them sparks fly, man. We get caught up, we get drawn into it. But the real way that you show who you are, right? And those of us that need to work on communication, this is really important because this is a nonverbal communication. But when someone is being hostile, being rude, being offensive, abusive, anything, right, towards you, instead of engaging in it, getting defensive and fighting and, just putting, fire for fire, fuel for fuel, just blowing the thing up, right? Your true power is to recognize it and say, no, I won't tolerate this. Thus, I will not prohibit you to have this access to me. When you calm down and are ready to have a discussion, we could talk. Have a good day. And you just literally depart. There's power. Think about it. If you sit there and you think about the last time that you got sucked into an argument, right? If you could see yourself literally having that state of control to be able to just, instead of arguing, instead of trying to get your point across, just saying, wait, this is unacceptable, right? We do need to discuss this. Clearly, right now is not the time. When you're ready, we'll talk. Goodbye. That's a very powerful, controlled state of being, don't you think? And that's something I strive for. And so again, because I strive for that, because I desire to embody that state of being, right? Guess what? Universe says we're gonna keep on throwing you all these cool tests. Let's see if you can pass some of this shit. Trial by fire, man. Trial by fire. That's how universe works, right? So if you in the fire right now, right? There's something inside of you that's asked for that. There's something inside of you because that's the other piece of all of this. There's no one in your life that's there by accident. There's no one that's like triggered you. There's no one that's been rude to you. There's no one that's hurt you, that it was an accident, right? There's a part of me that truly does believe that we have these soul contracts that somehow we agree, hey, at this stage in your life, I'm going to go and fuck with you. It's crazy, right? And that's going to help you to grow, right? And a lot of us, we're just so resistant, man. We're so resistant, which gets to the topic here of what are you full of? Are you full of light, love, truth, right? Peace, bliss, happiness, joy, right? Adventure? Or are you full of worry, doubt, scarcity, politics, sports, entertainment, celebrities, bullshit, right? What are you full of? Because see, here's the thing. I was listening to the Shaolin master, and I love his wisdom. But he said, look, all of us, we all show up as an empty cup to this earth, right? You show up as an empty cup, completely empty. And then what happens? Your parents, right? Your immediate family, guess what? They start pouring into you, right? Here's your cup. They start pouring into you. Then who else? Right? Your family members, they start pouring into you. Then you get old enough, you go to school, the school starts pouring into you, right? Then in this day and age, right, you're watching all kinds of media. When I was a little kid, it was just cartoons, but the cartoons pouring into you. YouTube influencers are now pouring into you, right? Politics is pouring into you. The government's pouring into you. Your friends are starting to pour into you. Who else? Who else do you need pouring into your cup? Right? Who else have you allowed to pour into your cup? Your boss, your coworkers, right? Your community, your mayor, your city council, right? Your governor, right? The CDC. Who else, man? Who else is pouring into you? The media, they're pouring into you, right? So you're full of everything that's ever been poured into you, right? And that's why so many people have a hard time finding their truth, right? Your religion, uh-oh. The preacher, he's been pouring into you, right? The religious, didn't mean to forget about them. They're pouring into you too, right? And that's the good and the bad, right? Because they pour a lot of fear into you too, right? The devil, man. The devil, right? Sin, judgment is coming. Got poured a little bit of that in there too, right? So you're full of that. What the Shaolin master says, and I believe this, is it's not until you get that cup and you pour the shit out that you truly find your truth, right? You have to empty yourself of everything that you have been filled with. And I've been saying this same thing in different words. It wasn't until I started chalking up, who am I? It's the same thing. Because who you are is what you're full of, your beliefs, your politics, right? Your stance on social issues, your favorite team, my team. When you say my team, you are acting as if you own it, but it's not yours. But yet you're full of it, right? My family, it's not even your family. And this shit sounds crazy. I get it. But it's not. It's not even, this ain't even my arm. Because guess what? I am not this body in the trueness of who I am. There is something deeper than the body, because even the body has changed. The body has changed. That spirit, that soul, that life force inside of me, it hasn't. It's there. And so even when I'm in these moments of conflict, I am now starting to become more and more of what's called the observer. I'm disconnecting from that ego, disconnecting from that earthly presence that has to be right, that has to prove a point, that can't lose control, right? So I can sit there and observe and then just hold peace, hold space, and allow other people to do what they need to do, saying, I can't control them. I'm all about me. In this moment, this is about who do I show up as, right? And am I showing up as this person that's been filled with all of these external influences? I've been talking about this since the beginning. You know more about Christopher fucking Columbus than you do about yourself. You know more about all this shit, right? Than you do truly about who you truly are at the essence of who you are, the spiritual being that you are, right? It's crazy. But yet that is the design. We are filled with stuff, externally speaking, for the entirety of our life. And we continue to allow ourselves to be even reinforced every year. We create more and more and more and more, right, of this. And yet, even though this program talks about filling your cup, what are you filling it with? Light, love, peace, positivity, freedom, independence, right? Inspiration, joy, happiness, love, light? Or are you filling it with the density of this world? Politics, social issues, the drink, vices. Can't forget about that shit. And even just religion. Isn't it crazy? Right? Religion, politics, right? Where all of us are trying to figure out who's right, who's wrong. And even that is part of this system, yes? Where we are having to be taught the earliest age through testing and all these other things, who's right, who's wrong, right? And it's like, get ranked based on how many questions you get right, how many questions you get wrong, right? And it's like no one wants to be wrong. No one sits there and says, man, I love being fucking wrong, proven wrong. Who wants to be proven wrong? Anybody? No, none of us want to be proven wrong. But it's an incredible thing when you have the character and the ability and the capacity to actually admit your faults when you do mess up, when you make a mistake, take ownership, right? That's some real character. And a lot of us have a really hard time even just doing that, taking ownership that when we have fucked up, take the fucking hit. Take the hit. Own it. But don't just sit there and fucking victimize yourself, licking your wounds. Get up and start making some changes. And that's where so many people right now, y'all ain't in that boat, hopefully. But that don't mean that could not be your test in this world, that your lesson for transformation, if you aren't willing to hear, right, many voices and right, it doesn't even take my voice exclusively to try and wake you up. I'm grateful for the people I have connected with that are listening, that are hearing, that are it's starting to resonate, right? But we have this voice inside of all of ourselves. It's our conscience, man. It's our intuition. It's our guides. It's telling you when you have bad fucking habits, when you got bad behavior and you need to switch some shit up. That's where I'm coming from. When I realize that I can get all hot, right, and start lighting motherfuckers up because I'm getting all fired up, right? And there's something in the back of my head, man, you can do better. You're called to do better. Hold space, hold ground, be calm. Don't even feel a need to talk. Your silence alone is your power. Don't give away your goat, right? Retain your power, your energy, and your emotions. Knowing that these other folks that are having conflict or desiring to conflict with you, it's not about even the thing. It's never about the thing. It's always something else. And so to get to that place, it's like, I know it's not going to be easy. It's not going to just happen. I'm going to have to continue to be ready to stick to my game plan of growth every single day, expansion of myself, right? Continuing to work on what? Getting deeper in my meditation, right? Being more transparent with my what? Journaling, right? Continuing to take care of my body, continuing to put clean food in my body, right? My nutrition, continuing to willing to learn and grow and notice. The only way you learn and grow is when you can actually admit fault, right? That's what learning's about. You think something is one way and then you learn, oh shit, it's not really, it doesn't always have to be that way. There's another way. Now it's time to learn and grow. We're going to try doing things some new ways this year. But so many get caught up, man. You got to stick to the same script. Stick to the script. Stick to the same script that's gotten you this far. That's survival. That's what that is. That's survival. And life is more than that. Life should be more than just surviving. There's this other thing called thriving, right? And we've been through some tough times. We're still going through some tough shit. Who knows what's next, man? Who knows what's next? Right? But there's a lot of you that you ain't even ready for what we've already been through because you've just continued to just be what? Survival mode, victim mode, right? You're not taking that ownership yet. And that's your call. It's your life. I ran into some old friends yesterday and you know, there's someone that is an old friend that I hadn't really been around in a few years, right? And I just don't see this guy getting better. It seems like he's getting worse. His health is getting worse. The shape of his body is getting worse. And those aren't judgments. That's just an observation that's saying, dude, like it's been 2 years, like 3 years. As I've been going through my process, I had contact with this person and I was trying to speak to him about switching shit up years ago and it didn't happen. Right. And at the end of the day, I know that there's something inside of him. There's a voice inside of him that's also saying, hey, man, switch shit up. And it's not happening. Right? And you got the same thing. You got the exact same thing going on inside of you. There's something going on inside of you saying, switch shit up. And it's not happening. Why? Why is it not happening? Why won't you allow for change to happen? Why won't you switch it up? Why won't you do exactly what the Shaolin Master says, which is to pour the cup out? And I've been saying it in my terms, which is in order to get to where you desire to be, you dream you could be, right? You have to literally account for everything that you got right now and let go of it. You got to let go of everything. That's the same analogy as your cup is full of everything you got right now, everything that's been poured into you, and it's time to just pour the shit out. The beautiful thing is so many of us are afraid because we think, well, if we let go of everything, that we lose everything. That's not true. You only lose what's not meant for you. There's a lot of shit you're holding on to. Man, it's not meant for you. Right? I seen a picture yesterday as a meme of someone holding on to a balloon that's trying to pull them and lift them up, but they're holding on to a fucking weight on the ground, right? It's the difference between your future and your past. You're holding on to your past. That weight's holding you fucking down. Let go. And most of us let go of the balloon. And we go right back down to the fucking ground, man. Because it's too scary, right? The unknown. Even though that's what we all desire. You desire whatever it is that's in your mind, in your heart, in your soul, right? But yet, no, I can't. It's too much change, right? And we get afraid and we shrink and we stop and we just don't know what to do. So we just go back to what we've been doing. And we say, you know what? I got to fill my cup up with all the bullshit. So we plug back into the sports. We plug back into the politics, plug back into the media, plug back into our circle of influence that's been holding us back for all these years because we were like, oh, okay, cool. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I've been seeing a lot of people say, I'm back. Why would you want to come back? Move forward. Keep going forward. Don't come back. Go forward. Please don't come back. Right? Why would you want to go back? Right? How is that in any way, shape, or form, if at face value, saying, I want to go backwards in life? I want to turn back to what I once was. Right? You're greater than that, man. But you need to find the courage to let go, right? To pour out your cup. And I know there's a lot of people out there, man, especially in this divisiveness of how society is right now, how thick the programming is with people. I mean, we've seen it, right? We've seen it with the pandemic, but even pre-pandemic, we saw it with politics, right? Families that literally can't talk politics. I've experienced it recently, right? I don't even vote, man. I'm done. I'm done with this shit. It's a joke. It's a fucking joke, man. And yet families can't talk politics, right? Because I guess they got nothing else to talk about. It was like I ran into my old friends yesterday, and guess what? They just want to talk about what? We're not talking about building businesses, building empires, creating wealth, adding value to people's lives, working out, exercising, having goals, having dreams. How can I cheer you on? What are you doing? Like, nah, man. When you start talking to people from the past, it's going back in time, and they're saying, oh man, you remember when we fucked off as little kids and we did this dumb shit, we did that dumb shit, remember that, ha ha ha, he ho ho ho. It's like, dude, serious, right? This shit don't entertain me no more, man. I get it. Yeah, dude, funny as fuck. Yeah, man, we were dumb as fuck, ha ha. Remember the good old days? That's not the good old days. This is the best day right now. I don't know what the fuck I was doing back then, right? Clearly whatever I was doing back then led to this shit. And if I could, I would not have that shit have ever happened. but it did. And it's a part of my story. So I accept it. And that's a big piece too, right? First, you have to accept what the fuck's in your cup. What have you allowed to get in that cup? And a lot of us, for the first phase of our life, right? The first quarter of our life, being, children, adolescents, teenagers, young adults, we didn't get to really pick and choose what got filled into our cup, right? But now you, a grown ass adult, you definitely need to look in there and say, hey man, is this truly what I want to believe? Is this truly what I believe? And that's a challenging thing. And that's been one of the real breakthroughs in my journaling is one, I've literally had to go back and say, what do I believe about basic shit? What do I believe about love, success, failure, money, wealth, relationships, business, right? Working out, exercise, nutrition, food. What do I believe about this? Literally having multiple page expressions of what do I believe about this? What do I believe about food? And then having to analyze it and say, some of this shit ain't really aligned with what I would like to believe, what I think I believe about it. Where does some of these things come from? And it comes from your past. It comes from those other people pouring in your cup. And so many of us, we're afraid. I know that there's a lot of cultures where I live here in New Mexico, Native American cultures, Hispanic cultures, where it's like, man, if you switch up, you don't participate in the feast and the eating, all the food that gets served, man, that's like excommunication shit. If you don't subscribe to the religious beliefs, that's excommunication. Like you're not a part of us anymore. If you don't submit, you're out. Like that's crazy. That's force. That's control. That's fear. And again, I'm challenging you to transcend that, to truly find your truth. Your truth can be unlike any other person's truth on this planet. And that's a very, very, very beautiful thing. Because see, you are unlike anyone else on this planet. Isn't that's the truth, right? Is there anyone else like you? No. You were born at a specific place, specific time to specific people. No one else has that. That's how unique you are. Think about it. We're not all fucking spawned in the same room, same place, same people. We all have a different launch into this world, into this universe, which means we got something very special and unique inside of us. And we need to be able to see that. And that's why I get on here, is because I've been spending more and more time seeing that in myself and seeing the results of spending that time healing myself, working on myself, investing in myself, right? And that has gotten me to a place of inspiration where now I feel I have a message to share, to say, look, man, if I can figure this out, if I can go from there to where I'm at right now, right? Anybody can do it. 11 years sobriety, losing tons of weight, accomplishing major academic goals, major financial goals, and just things just continue to get better, not easier, right? I got people I'm coaching right now on the health tip, and one of my clients yesterday shared a victory, right? We have things that's called non-scale victories because it's not just about the scale. But when like a lot of us, again, it's the social, right? And there's a lot of people out there that, man, we're so pressured to be accepted by the group, to do what the group does. And it's the same thing what I had just said, excommunication, or even being ridiculed or laughed at or made fun of because you have to do something different. But man, if you're not doing it for you, then you're going to end up doing everything for everyone else. And they ain't going to give a shit how you feel about your true self. But I was so proud of one of my clients because she shared a picture of like a luncheon and everybody's eating some really nice food. And there she is with like, her food is literally like a bar, snack. And she shows it. She got water, she got her bar, and everybody else got steaks and salads and potatoes, all this other good shit, French fries. But she's on a fucking warpath. She's on a mission, right? And that's a huge victory. That's stacking wins. That's saying I don't care. That's going all in. And I wish that I can inspire you to do the same, to find whatever you need to do to go all in, to be different, to buck the fucking crowds, to quit hiding in the crowd. Be willing to step out. You're going to probably lose some people along the way. You're probably going to get ridiculed. You're probably going to get pressured to come back. Oh, man, you think you're better? It's not that I think I'm better. It's like I know I'm worth more than doing the same old shit that we've been doing for all these damn years. And ain't nothing changing in my life. I'm ready to see what's on the other side of the fear. I'm ready to see what's on the other side of some adversity, some obstacles, some challenges. I want to challenge myself. Y'all know, man, that you feel like shit if you're not challenging yourself, right? And allowing yourself to actually go through some major challenges. It's so rewarding. It's such a part of the human experience, is to go through adversity, to go through challenge, right? And even if you fail, man, even if you get your ass kicked in the process, it's just like me this week having a big flare up at work and saying, man, I'm processing, saying I'm ready for the next one because I want to continue to grow. And that's the lesson. Right? You can't learn in the safe space, in the sanctuary of the morning. I don't learn when I'm here. I'm learning when I'm out there in the fucking arena of life. There's a lot of you that are hiding and avoiding and sitting in the stands. You've been trained and programmed to be a spectator, even on your own life. You're showing up for some other person's life, but you ain't showing up for you in your life. You are the main character in this story called life. And yet you're acting as if like you're fucking, what are these extras? You're an extra in your own story because the main characters are other people. I ask this question all the time to people. I love asking this question, right? Who are the top 3 people you love the most? Right. And a lot of people, do they have to be alive? No, listen, who are the top 3 people you love the most? Just what comes to mind, top 3, right? I'm going to tell you, you failed the test if you're not number 1. Most people fail that test, right? And this is not to shame you. This is to awaken you, to stir you up as to why. Why are you not important enough to be number 1, right? And this isn't about ego. This isn't about narcissism. This isn't about self-centeredness and all this weird shit. But the truth is that the love you carry for yourself is the love you can give and offer to others, period. If you're a mother and you got 5 kids, I have a lot of moms that say, but I got 4 kids and you said 3. So I don't know. I'm conflicted. Again, it's not about anything past the first spot. I always say 3 just so you're not feeling like it's only 1. And it is a little bit of a profound philosophical question. Is to say, how do you get yourself to be number 1? How do you invest more time and attention on improving who you are and the relationship you have with yourself? That's what this whole message has been about, right? Self-care, self-healing, self-growth because I am truly 100% believing that as you improve the relationship you have with yourself, guess what? You're going to improve the relationships with every person outside of who you are. You're going to have more understanding. You're going to be more gracious. You're going to be more kind. You're going to be more loving, right? You're going to be showing up with some authenticity that, man, I really know what it is to like heal some of my hurts, some of my wounds, to forgive others, to forgive myself. I still struggle with that all the time, forgiving myself. And I hope that you'll spend today, what we call the weekend. These are just more days of life, not just fucking off, but really trying to dig deeper into who are you? Who do you want to become? Or have you already become the best version of yourself and it's someone that's like 20 years ago? Do you really believe the best version, the best potential of who you are was like 20 years ago? If you do, then seriously, you need to hit me up because I need to wake up, right? That life force inside of you to realize, no, no, no. That was an incredible experience 20 years ago, but you need to continue carrying that energy, that effort forward, knowing that you are called to continue inspiring, living, thriving through this life every single day until the end, man. We create this thing in the Western world called retirement. In the Eastern world, they don't even really have words for this. Retirement, right? Because their whole lives aren't built around just the workplace. It's about living life, doing life. They don't need to have this whole artificial sense of like, oh, when I get to this age, then I don't got to do shit. They're like, I'm going to show up and live my best life every single day. I'm challenging you to do the same thing, right? Today, tomorrow, whatever days you got, because we ain't guaranteed shit, man. 186,000 people died last night. A lot of grieving souls out there today. You're not one of them. Go out there, make a difference. Quit making them motherfucking excuses, because you know the drill. Results kill excuses. It's all on me. Greg's out.